They had the fame, the fortune, and the spotlight. But in the 1980s, some of Hollywood's most glamorous couples came crashing down in scandals, betrayals, and heartbreak. These weren't just breakups. They were implosions that filled the tabloids, shocked the public, and left scars that still get talked about today. Which breakup do you think was the messiest? Drop your guess in the comments. You might be surprised who makes the list: Elizabeth Taylor and John Warner. By the early 1980s, Elizabeth Taylor had already been married multiple times, but her union with U.S. Senator John Warner was particularly painful. At first, she embraced politics with her usual glamour, but life in Washington left her isolated and depressed. She admitted feeling invisible, reduced from Hollywood royalty to a politician's accessory. The loneliness eventually pushed her to leave. Even queens can lose their crowns when love demands silence. Madonna and Penn. They were young, magnetic, and electric, dubbed the punk rock royal couple. But their marriage was plagued by explosive fights and disturbing allegations. Paparazzi chased them endlessly, capturing images of chaos more than love. By 1989, Madonna filed for divorce, citing fears for her safety. Passion that burns too hot can consume everything in its path. Sylvester Stallone and Brigitte Nielsen. The Italian stallion shocked the world when he married 22-year-old Danish model Brigitte Nielsen in 1985 after a whirlwind romance. Their public life was glamorous, but their private fights were infamous. Nielsen later called their marriage a mistake, while Stallone admitted the union was doomed from the start. After 2 years, it ended with bitterness and regret. Not all knockout punches happen in the ring. Burt Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson. At the height of their fame, Burt and Lonnie were Hollywood's golden couple, handsome, rich, and adored. But behind closed doors, jealousy and money disputes tore them apart. Their 1993 divorce settlement, sparked in the late 80s, turned into a spectacle with accusations flying in every direction. Reynolds later admitted he had betrayed her trust, a confession that haunted him. Public love can make private pain louder. Jagger and Hall. Rock and roll excess defined their relationship. They had passion, children, and style, but the 80s also brought endless affairs and constant press scrutiny. Hall eventually admitted she couldn't handle Mick's lifestyle, calling the relationship a roller coaster of highs and humiliations. Even legends can't outsing the noise of betrayal. Cher and Gregg Allman. After divorcing Sonny Bono, Cher fell hard for rock star Gregg Allman. But addiction and chaos plagued their marriage. Gregg's drug use clashed with Cher's drive for stability. Their split in the late 70s echoed into the early 80s, a story of two icons who loved deeply but lived in separate worlds. Love tangled with drugs rarely survives. Robin Givens and Mike Tyson. Their 1988 marriage started as a headline dream, the heavyweight champion and the actress, but it quickly turned nightmarish. In a shocking on-air interview with Barbara Walters, Givens described life with Tyson as torture. The marriage ended within a year, leaving both scarred and the world stunned. Fear and love cannot exist in the same home. Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith. Their love was fiery, reckless, and doomed. They first married young, divorced, then reunited in the 1980s. But addiction, jealousy, and Hollywood temptation made it impossible to last. By the end of the decade, they had split for good. Sometimes second chances are just second heartbreaks. Marie Osmond and Steve Craig. The squeaky clean image of Marie Osmond was shattered when her first marriage ended in divorce in 1985. She admitted feeling trapped in a picture-perfect life that didn't reflect her reality. Fans were stunned, the wholesome star walking away from a marriage that seemed flawless. Even innocence has breaking points. Diana Ross and Naess Jr. The Motown legend married Norwegian businessman Arne Naess in 1985, and at first it was glamour, yachts, and jet-set living. But rumors of infidelity and lifestyle clashes haunted them. By the end of the decade, cracks were undeniable. No amount of luxury can mend a broken bond. Joan Collins and Peter Holm. The Dynasty Queen shocked fans when she married Swedish singer Peter Holm in 1985. But what followed was chaos. Their divorce 2 years later turned into an ugly courtroom battle, with Collins blasting Holm in interviews. Glamour may glitter, but bitterness always stains. Kenny Rogers and Marianne Gordon. The country superstar was one of the biggest names of the 80s, but his marriage to actress Marianne Gordon ended after 16 years. She later admitted she felt abandoned by fame and fortune. Kenny confessed his career often came before family. Stardom comes at a price, and love can't always afford it. Looking at all this heartbreak, do you think Hollywood couples stand a chance at real love? Or is fame always the third wheel in every marriage? Drop your thoughts below. We'll feature the best takes in our next video. Farrah Fawcett and Lee Majors. They were the golden couple of the 1970s and early 80s. She, the Charlie's Angels icon, and he, the $6 million man. But fame and jealousy tore them apart. Lee admitted he struggled with her skyrocketing career, and by the early 80s, they were done. When love turns into rivalry, no one wins. Robert De Niro and Diane Abbott. De Niro married actress and singer Diane Abbott in 1976, but by the late 80s, their marriage unraveled. Allegations of infidelity and long separations ended the union. Sometimes silence says more than scandal. Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley. The Piano Man and the Supermodel seemed like a fairy tale. Married in 1985, they even starred in his music videos together. But by the end of the decade, arguments, busy schedules, and lifestyle differences drove them apart. Even a perfect picture can fade when real life intrudes. Tom Cruise and Mimi Rogers. Before Nicole Kidman, there was Mimi Rogers. Married in 1987, their union collapsed quickly amid rumors of infidelity and conflicting beliefs. Mimi later hinted she'd introduced Tom to Scientology, a factor that shaped his life for decades. Short marriages leave long shadows. Ally Sheedy and David Lansbury. The Breakfast Club star married into Hollywood royalty in the late 80s, but their union didn't last. Sheedy later opened up about substance abuse struggles and the difficulties of balancing fame with stability. Not every movie star ending is happy. These were the messiest breakups of the 1980s, passionate, fiery, and unforgettable. Which one do you think was the most shocking disaster? Drop your pick in the comments, and stay tuned, because next time we're diving into the messiest breakups of the 1990s, and you won't believe who makes that list. This video is for entertainment purposes only.